Hi, guys. So, this is how you are going to edit your newscasts. So, from the daily schedule, you're going to click on the group project link, and that opens up into WeVideo in the project that is for our class. So, you are going to, with your group, your table is going to click on the thing that says New Edit. And you are going to make sure that you're looking at the project media folder. So it opens up all of these pieces of the newscast. There's 36 different clips. And you are going to go through and find the ones that were part of your newscast. And so what you're going to do is pull these things, like say this is part of your newscast. You would pull it down here where it says video 2. And the first thing that we want to do is click the edit button right here, which is this little pen, and click on it. And then we're going to choose this thing that looks like a guy in front of or in a box. It's called color keying. Click on it. And I'm going to grab this eyedropper. And I'm going to go over here where the green is, click on it, and it deletes the green and say save changes. Now, I would watch this clip, and if there was a part of it that I didn't want, like somebody made a mistake, then I would go to where the mistake was, and I'd click on the little scissors, and then I would go to the end of the mistake and click the scissors again, and then I'd just delete that part of it. Be like, I don't want that part. And then I'd move the things together. Okay, so what's cool about this now is we get to choose the backgrounds. So remember that in My Media, there's this Project Media folder. But if you click over here to Stock Media, there's a bunch of different free footage that you can use. So let's say that we want this to be at a mall. Like her newscast was at a mall, and so we need to show a mall. So we could pick any one of these pieces of footage and take it and put it down on the timeline and then play it and see what happens. So we can see her talking. She's got people behind her. That may not be the best choice, but there's a ton of different options. And there's also still pictures. So if they don't have a number next to them right here, that means it's 7 seconds long. So if there isn't a number, then you know that it's a still picture. Like you could just grab this picture of a mall, and then she's just standing in a still picture. Does that make sense? So you can use a bunch of different pieces of footage. And there's some other cool things that you might want to do as well. You might want to put some text at the beginning of it, or in stock footage, we might want to write down news and see what comes up. What are some of the choices? Like there's all this cool stuff for newscasts right here that we might just be able to use. Like this is 10 seconds of this cool little newscast intro. So we could play this thing at the beginning of her newscast where it says breaking news and put that in front of it. That'd be kind of cool. And if we wanted to have some music that went with it, that'd be kind of cool. So there's some different music choices in the audio. We could say one of these that's kind of exciting sounding. I'm not sure if there's one that's exciting sounding. Let's listen. It doesn't really sound much like a newscast. Some of that might work. So maybe if I pulled this down in the audio And I only want it to be, I only want there to be audio for just this first part of it. So I would take it to here and then click the scissors and then delete that part of it, you know? So it was just enough, you know, it was just enough to do that. Okay, and I want that to be, so there's nothing in between. There you go. So we've kind of talked about how you're choosing the ones that your group is in, and you're pulling them down on the timeline. And then the first thing that you do when you get it down on that timeline is click the edit pencil, grab it. It defaults to this, so you'll have to change it to this one, and grab the eyedropper, get rid of it, and say save changes. Okay. And then when you're ready for it to be finished, you come up to the finish button and you're going to name it. So I'm going to name this Mrs. Broberg's project. Mrs. Broberg's project. That way it will be clear whose it is. I'm going to choose what I want it to look like on the front. I think that that's probably the best one. And then I'm going to choose that I want it to be HD. And I'm going to click that I want to save it in my Google Drive. Okay. It needs to be clicked there or it's not going to save it in your Google Drive. And then I'm going to say export. Okay. So, and now it's just getting ready to export. Okay. So this is one thing I want you to see is that when you click into this, you're going to see other people's projects. Okay. So you would see my project right there. And you don't want to open up my project. You want to start your own. Okay. And so that's why it's important when you finish it to name it so that we know whose project it is. And remember that all the video clips are here in this project media. So it's pretty easy to start one. You just click on the new video and it takes you right into it. You click in project media to get all of the choices. And then there's a whole bunch of fun stuff that you can use. And this is the name. So that's where you name it. So you would name it after yourself, you know, be like, this is Kalel's thing or whatever. And I think when it says themes, there's some cool options in there you might want to experiment with. There's just so many different fun things about WeVideo, lots and lots of different options for you. Okay.